Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened as I said it would. People will be. Oh, when have we got Leeds? Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Good morning to you. I don't want to keep you too long. I wanted to make this short, snappy and sweet. Obviously, it's the Tyne and Weir derby as well today, so I wouldn't mind watching it myself. I think it's going to be a full-blooded affair. I did have plans, otherwise I'd have sorted out a watch-along for it, and that'd have been good. I'm going to start stepping up the watch-alongs now when there's not content, all that sort of stuff, right? So, morning, Young Joe. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been called Young CB, but I'll take it. Very tired as well. As you know, we were up late last night doing the scouting report, had a lot of lovely comments. Great shout out to Andrea and to Lockie for doing that. Big up to those lads. If you haven't watched it, make sure you go check it out. Your one-stop shop for all the potential fullbacks Leeds United should look at and sign. So make sure you do check that out. Philip says 49ers aren't letting anybody go. I agree with you, mate, but we're going to talk about it, right? Because the links are out there. Just because the title says stuff doesn't mean that I actually believe it, okay? Or think that they're going to sell it. But it's a news show, and yeah, we're here to talk about the latest Leeds United news, of course. So according to Jack Talbot, now what I will say about Jack Talbot, right? Jack Talbot just a couple of days ago also said that Newcastle were after them. So I'm starting to think this Jack Talbot chat's beans, if I'm being totally honest. This is where the original stories come from. I will share my screen so you can have a look at it. Yeah, 12:45 is Sunderland Newcastle. That's right, Vic. Yeah, it's going to be a good game. I think Sunderland are going to win with a screamer from Alex Pritchard. So let me just share this with you. This story first of all. So it's been reported by Jack Talbot that Liverpool are weighing up a move for Somerville. Now they could well be doing this. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, there will be a hell of clubs that will be lining up deals for Somerville in the prospect that Leeds United don't get promoted. If we get promoted, he stays with us in the Premier League. He gives us 1-2 seasons, and if he continues on the trajectory that he's on, he then gets a move, right? But at this moment in time, I have no worries about him leaving, and like Vic says, it could happen, but not in January. Exactly. Same for Newcastle, same for all these other clubs. Listen, at the end of the day, even Burnley could get him if we didn't get promoted and they stayed in the division. People won't want to hear it, but the Premier League has a lot of pull, and if we don't go up, then Somerville will leave Leeds United. Now, according to Jack Talbot, Liverpool are considering a move for him. Anfield Watch, which I assume is some sort of podcast, but to be fair, the Liverpool podcast fan media, a lot of them are quite well respected, and they do sort of get information in that time. The lads like Redmen TV and stuff, they know their stuff. Proper professional outfit. So the 22-year-old Dutch winger has been turning heads with his impressive performances. I've just had a Liverpool fan try to tell me that Jadon Philogene better than him, but I'm not having it at all. He's the best winger in the Championship. No one's even close. 18 goal involvements this season tells you all you need to know. Obviously, great pickup by Leeds United when you think about it. The amount we paid for him. So it is a feather in, as much as I hate to do this, it is a feather in Victor Orta's cap. He did get a lot wrong, but he did get a lot right as well. You know, Melier, Pascal Struijk, Crysencio Summerville, Willie Nonto. These are players that he plucked from obscurity that we had no clue about. You know, Summerville, for example, was at Feyenoord in the youth. Struijk we picked up from a free from Ajax in their youth. So this guy knows his, you know... He did know some players, not all. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. That should be on Victor Orta's headstone. Mainly shit, but you hear me. Obviously, Liverpool fans will know Somerville all too well as well, because he scored that goal against them that saved Jesse his job, which I wish he hadn't. But for Somerville, it was a nice moment, I guess. But sources close to the situation apparently have been monitoring Somerville ahead of the summer, where the club looked to bolster the front line with younger talent. I think this is a key thing to add as well, is that obviously Salah's not going to last forever. I'm not saying he's anywhere comparable, let me just say. But what I will say is they will be looking at players. I think Jared Bourne might be one, but I know no. Listen, when you name any player next to Salah, it sounds stupid, right? But they're going to have to replace him at some point. Apparently, Liverpool have great connections with the Wingers agency as well. I swear I read the other day that he's in the same agency as Eddie Howe and stuff. And that was one of the reasons for the links to Newcastle. Leeds completed the 1.3 million signing of Somerville from Feyenoord in the summer of 2020. I mean, how much do you think you get for Somerville? If we're in the Championship 2025, I'm sorry, that's it. That the Championship means you can't 30, I don't know. But if he gets promoted and continues in this form in the Premier League, you're looking at big money. So the amount of money we get on top of what we paid for him is insane, and that also helps FFP, profit and sustainability. This all helps. That's what I think. That's a bit wild. If I'm being honest. That's too much money. No, you're getting 70 million for him. Calma. Yeah, but he's a top player. Look, Somerville, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think Leeds fans don't think he's going anywhere. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. It's more of a summer move, isn't it? This is the thing. It's more of a summer move for Somerville. Ben Rama and Buendia went for 30 million. There you go. Okay, yeah, there you go. And it is similar, in terms of what he's doing for sure. I would argue Buendia may be ahead of him at the time. That would just be my opinion. Maybe I'm rewriting history. But yeah, 30 million, but you're not getting 70, are you? We can ask what we want. We don't have to sell. Yeah, no, I know that, but it doesn't mean you're going to get that. And if the player wants to leave, etc., at some point, which no doubt he will, if Liverpool and Newcastle are serious, then you've got to have a conversation for sure. We'll now just go through some of the latest Leeds United news links. This one here, I mean, listen, I don't want to hammer anybody's work, but Graham Bailey chats so much rubbish, genuinely. And apparently he said on One Leeds with Connor that let's have a look. It is interesting that Brendan Aaronson links imagining coming back to Leeds. He's unhappy at Berlin. There's a chance he comes back. I don't think there is in any stretch of the imagination. Imagine him coming in the Championship. What a signing that would be. Again, I disagree. It's something Daniel Farker's assessing. He's a 30-40 million pound player. No, he's good. He'd be as good as anything in Europe you could bring in. The guy hasn't got Scooby-Doo. The guy's a Middlesbrough fan. He's a Leeds in Divvy. He once said, right, listen, this is the knowledge of the man. The guy once said that Anthony was a better buy than Rafinha. For Man United, by the way, because he said Man United were linked. And he said, I actually think Man United have got the better deal getting Anthony for 90 million. Okay. So that's the... he's just full of shit. He's just full of shit, if I'm honest. And Brendan Aaronson isn't coming back to Leeds United. So, yeah. Here's what it is. That's a story that's out there. I don't see how a player that struggled in the Premier League is gonna cut it in the Championship. We've sat here over the past few weeks bemoaning the frailties of some of our players, Somerville, Rutter. We've mentioned it, the frailties of them, and then we're saying that Brendan Aaronson would work. I mean, no. Definitely not. Nana. So yeah, Brendan Aaronson, that's out there. This is another story. Again, it's more just of an opinion piece, and I'd like to know from you folks. So Tottenham experts, Spurs should finalise a permanent transfer for Joe Rodon in January. I agree, but the facts are, I think there's some sort of gentleman's agreement set up with Rodon if we go up, etc. I think Greta Steinson's obviously got a great relationship with Spurs. That's why it doesn't surprise me that Jed Spencer's gone straight up for sale, because Greta Steinson has a great relationship with Spurs, and Daniel Levy, and they'll probably say, why are you sending him back, Greta? Oh, XYZ. Right, we've had enough. Get him straight on the get him straight on the transfer window. And the thing is, from a profit and sustainability aspect, and I don't know, I don't know the ins and outs and the finer workings of our finances currently. I wish I did. It's too hard for me to understand. I don't think we could buy him now, because that would hamper any sort of new signings or loans, surely, with profit and sustainability. So I don't think we can buy him now anyway. So I think that's a summer deal. I think that's a summer deal for sure. So we'll have to wait and see. Aaronson is contracted to us. He and Leeds. Yeah, I mean, look, Leeds aren't going to exercise a break clause, are they, Ian? That's for sure. Leeds won't be the ones that will exercise that. It depends, even if there is one. There's not always guaranteed to be one. Leeds might not have put one in the Brendan Aaronson one. There's all these different factors. We don't know. Every contract is different. Every contract has different nuances. At the end of the day, Leeds United exercised a clause in Spencer's loan to say, right, you can have him back, and we lost out on $1 million. Rodon apparently didn't have one, according to Farker, so that's not gonna yeah. So Amy, I think I will. I think I am, but that's fine. Of course, there are rumours out there, but what we have to remember is, as well, if you look at all the players, what I would say to you is, if you look at all the players that have been returned to their clubs, they've already been returned. They've already been returned. Carvalho, who was playing for Leipzig, which is also in Germany, so it's nothing to do with the German market of them opening later or whatever, was sent back straight away to Liverpool. We've seen players in the Championship sent straight back away. This is something that's done straight away. They don't wait for time. So, Josh Doig and Connor Roberts, Oscar, they would be my pick based on yesterday. I did like, what was he called? Bazong? I was going to say Bazonga. He wasn't called, but that's what he used to say my ex, Bazonga Zongs. What was he called now? I did like him, but yeah, they'd be my picks. Bjorkan, that was it. Bjorkan. Yeah, Amy, you might be right though. You might be right. I'm just telling you my opinion. Yeah, Sunderland Newcastle kicks off at 12:45, so we will be finishing up before then, because I do want to watch it. I'm going for 1-0 Sunderland with a goal from Alex Pritchard. Doig and Roberts is the safest choice. Yeah, and you know me, I'm a safe guy. Do you think we'll see any incomings? I don't, mate. No, I think they'll take their time with it. Like they did in the summer. That might not be good for people, but I think they will. I'm all right with it. Another story, Josh Doig. Listen, the longer this one goes on, the more. Listen, I'd love Josh Doig. I don't think we sign him. The reason being is because I don't think we put up money. Wanderlust says Union Berlin are waiting to get someone in before. No, it doesn't work like that, Wanderlust. We would just have him back, wouldn't we? Because we'd try and arrange another club for him. We're not at the behest of Union Berlin when it comes to this. There's a specific date. There's always dates and stuff in these clauses. How do you know this, Wanderlust? Where have you seen it? Where have you heard it? I think it's just stories out there in the ether. But yeah, if you know for definite, tell me. But there is certain dates with which they have to make a decision, because Leeds United can't just be sat. Like, think about it, this side of contracts. Leeds United, do you think Leeds United are going to sit there till the 31st of January and about 10 p.m. they go, right, you're having him back, we've got someone? Don't work like that. Does not work like that. So we'll wait and see. Yeah, so listen, I don't think we'll spend the money. I don't think we'll spend any money this window, unless it's an amazing deal. Now, you could argue this is an amazing deal, but I don't think we'll spend that kind of outlay on Josh Doig. So I think we'll be looking at a loan deal. Sure, Plettenberg mentioned it. So you're sure 100% you've read that? Because I would definitely Plettenberg's definitely on it. He's like, I'm just gonna have a look at his Twitter now, bro, and we'll have a look. What's his Twitter handle? I do follow him, but for whatever reason, when I put Plettenberg, it's not coming in. And what we'll do is we'll have a search, mate. Just Florian, isn't it? That's it. Just one sec. There we go. If we have a little search of Atletico, that's what it is. Aaronson. Let's have a look. I'm just trying to see if he's tweeted about it recently. No. 1 year loan without an option to buy. 1 year loan without an option to buy. Yeah. No, there's nothing on there, mate, from Plettenberg, unless he said it. But like I say, there's nothing on his Twitter, which you'd imagine he'd have mentioned it. But like you say, if you've viewed it with your very eyes, I've not seen anything on Twitter, and you'd think if he said that on Sky that I'd be there. But if you've viewed it, you've heard it with your very eyes, then who am I to question that? So if you've heard that, then fair enough, and we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. Yeah, so I don't think he'll come back though anyway, but we'll see, isn't it? We'll see. Yes, as am I, Gordon. 15 minutes, so we will be finishing. Very shortly. Very shortly. Well, before 1:45, so we can all go watch it. Leeds United now want to sign Premier League defender who absolutely loves playing alongside Joe Rodon. That man is Connor Roberts. Of course, they play together on international duty. Roberts' past comments on Leeds defender went together with Rodon in South Wales. The Leeds centre-back was a target for Tottenham Hotspur at the time, and a club he ended up joining for around 11 million. 2 weeks earlier, Roberts did an interview with BBC Sport while the pair were both in international duty. He said, "I don't want him to go anywhere. I was with him on deadline day and chilling with him. I was asking what the crack is. He was just thinking about the next game. We are playing England for Wales, and that is all is in his head." But obviously, this is another important thing to think about as well. Connor Roberts and Rodon both played together at Swansea. It's like a hand in a glove, right? You know, I think it makes sense for Leeds United to go and make that deal happen. Now, I was told, and I'm not professing to well, I'll tell you sometimes when I do say, I mean, I'm not ITK, but yeah, when I know something. But listen, I was told Leeds have only inquired about Roberts. There's not been any sort of push to get him over the line as of yet. They've made an inquiry. Burnley are willing to let him go. Of course they are. Burnley aren't playing him. He did play. He was involved in the FA Cup game yesterday, but didn't get off the bench, you know? So I think Connor Roberts isn't wanted. Connor Roberts' level, you could argue, is the Championship. All his decent numbers in seasons at Swansea, at Burnley have all come in the Championship. We can take him on a loan. Do you know what I mean? It makes perfect sense. Like Vic says, he fits, knows a lot of the players, knows the Championship, knows how to win. No brainer. This is the point, isn't it? Connor Roberts is going to be cheap. Go get it done. I think for me, like you said, he knows Rodon, he knows Ampadu, so they already have a connection. He knows Dan James, who's going to be playing ahead of him in the side as well. Daniel Farker loves Welshmen. It just fits. He's got history. He's been in the playoffs with Swansea. He's won the league with Burnley. Connor Roberts, for me, is a no-brainer. He has international experience at World Cup and Euros. Connor Roberts, to me, is a no-brainer. Yeah, Aston Villa, Brighton are interested as well. I think clubs are after Matoma, but that won't happen until the summer. So, again, we will see Somerville linked numerous times, believe me. And unless a crazy bid comes in, he stays put. You know, I just don't see any player leaving, if I'm honest. And that goes for... that goes for Nonto as well. I just don't think we sell Nonto. Another thing to consider when dealing with Burnley is the fact that they are also owned by an American sports investment arm. That could have some bearings on any deal. Obviously, Americans working together. So, you know, there is a direct link between the owners because, as I say, they have a great relationship between the NFL teams. So it means you can get a deal done pretty easily. You know, we've seen that with Spurs. I think the speed and the ease with which we were able to get Rodon and Spence tells me that the relationship with Steinson's really good, and hopefully the American relationship between Parag and others is also really good. And listen, journalist Darren Whitcop did tweet this out yesterday. I do have him on notifications, so he must have said something with a bit of validity at some point. But he did say this: Luke Ayling out of Leeds to Middlesbrough and Connor Roberts in from Burnley to Ellen Road is a potential deal to keep an eye on. Leeds looking for a new fullback following Jed Spence's loan return. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense to make that deal happen to me. You know, and look, as much as I'd love Josh Doig, I just don't think we spend the money. I think we get Connor Roberts in loan and maybe look at a loan for a left back. But maybe you could sign up a loan with a view to a perm with Josh Doig. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have Daffy. No. New Thought says no more Welsh players. Why? They've all been great. No more from Austrian League. Yeah, we spoke about a few yesterday. Second half underway. Josh Doig versus Inter Milan. How is he getting on, Mike? How's he doing this morning? Hellas Verona. Are they getting beat or what's the score? Get your comments in, folks. We've got another 10 minutes before we head off, before the game kicks off between Sunderland and Newcastle. Has anyone got any comments? He says, buy Roberts, buy Williams, rent Bale for a few months sorted. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Stadium of Light is bouncing. Yeah, listen, this town is bouncing. My ex Harry's mum's a Newcastle fan, and she's gone to watch, not at the ground, but she's gone to the pub with her dad, who's a Newcastle season ticket holder. And I just said, be careful, because it'll be naughty. It'll be kicking off in the town today. I'm staying far away. Tom Matson said the centre back from Hammarby doesn't seem like he's coming. The head of football commented that they don't want to sell him. They're going to say them things, but yeah, it's been it's been pretty quiet, hasn't it? Since the Tiffmeister told us it was a done deal, but yeah, Tiffmeister always on the money. I love him though. He's a good lad. So let's just have a look at the latest transfer links on here. What do you make to Timo Werner returning back to the Premier League? Timo Werner returning back to the Premier League and coming to Spurs. I think he'll do well. I'm going to make a bold prediction now and say he'll do well. Definitely. I think he'll do well. I think it's not a bad pickup. Not watching no football this weekend. Don't forget, you can watch tomorrow, Kevin. Tomorrow we've got the watch along. Peterborough versus Leeds United in the FA Cup, which I think we'll get beat. You know, I think we get beat. Definitely not. To be honest, Timo Bandor, we'll see. Joe Blackburn, you all know Joe Blackburn. He was saying they're like close on that, and I was like, you can't say that, bro. He didn't. He basically thought Sunderland or Middlesbrough was in Newcastle. Jody, we will be doing that. I'm going to be live tonight, mate. 9 or 10 o'clock, maybe even 8 o'clock, depending on my situation. But we'll do a big match preview live tonight. So we'll get some heads in that. So big match preview live tonight. I just wanted to jump in and just do a quick round upon the transfers, because I think it'll be pretty quiet for the rest of the day on transfer news. So I've done that this morning. I'm going to go watch the football now. And then if anything else comes, I'll be here. I'll break it. But we will do a big match preview live. Who's on yet? I don't know. I'll speak to some people, but that will be back. And then tomorrow, we'll have the watch along, followed by the live post match. So that's something that's going to be happening every game now, So make sure you follow that. And thanks as always for watching the Just Joe Football Show. A lot of love. Great numbers at the minute with it being the January transfer window. Big up from Vietnam, Paul. I appreciate all the continued support. Yeah, anyway, smash a like on the video. Enjoy this game that's about to kick off, and I'll see you tonight. Peace out, folks. Yeah, keep an eye on Trey Hume. Very, very good player, Bealey. Very good player. But so is Niall Huggins. But Trey Hume is very, very good. But I think Sunderland 1-0, Alex Pritchard with a screamer. That's my prediction. Anyway, I'm going to see you in a bit, and I'll see you tonight, or maybe even this afternoon, depending on if any major stories break. Have a great day, folks. Peace now. Leeds!